Okay, beloveds, I apologize for that. I didn't press pause. I actually stopped the video, so this is the second portion of it. And we'll just keep going. Like I said, acceptance, accept it, and keep going. Make it part of the dance. um, the next card comes from the Messages from Your Animal Spirit Guides deck by Stephen D. Farmer, and the card that was pulled is Shark. Trust your instincts to discern the truth of the situation. Trust your instincts to discern the truth of the situation. And I'll show you the card. And let's keep going. This is on page 108, which is also a 9. A lot of 9s here. A lot of 9s and a lot of 5s. Okay. Um, Trust your instincts to discern the truth of the situation. Your instinctual self is that aspect of you that sends signals to your brain directly from your body. It is what's responsible for your survival, particularly when you're in a life threatening situation and must avoid danger by fighting, fleeing, or remaining still and quiet. Your instinct dictates which choice most likely ensures your perpetuation. And, beloveds, I just want to say some people's instincts are much more attuned because they have been in situations that requires that relies upon that information for their existence, whether it's to fight, to flee, or to be still and to be quiet, and the discernment of which one of those needs to be done, that is instinctual. And so you need to rely upon that instinct. And it's not just in those circumstances of actual physical survival. It those instincts come up in every situation. They may not be as developed or as high or as intense, but the more you allow yourself to identify with your intuition, the more you're able to be led by it and to understand that this is a deeper knowing than your own knowing. So you give it preference because it's instinct over your logical mind of what you should do. And so absorb that wisdom of allowing yourself to be instinctual. Again, that is coming from the existence within you. Okay, it's much more primal than intellect. There we go. And is what connects humans with all other animals. The trust for your instinctual signals can be modified and distorted by conditioning, especially childhood conditioning. When you're repeatedly told to distrust what your body is telling you, or you faced life threatening situations with no escape, this exquisite survival mechanism becomes clouded at the least and completely suppressed at the extreme. It's replaced by either a generalized fear and agitation that gets projected onto relatively benign situations, or else a psychic numbness that anesthetizes the senses and severely limits your body's ability to process environmental cues for danger. This sensory numbness also limits your ability to fully experience pleasure. And beloveds, this is an anxiety attack. This is a panic attack. This is something that's going to block the signals that you receive. A lot of people freeze and are paralyzed and like a deer in the headlights. And you've got to learn how to relax yourself enough so that you can receive the information that's naturally there for you. And again, that comes from learning you are existence itself. And existence provides for every situation. So you are never just left out there. Whatever is going on, whatever chaos or whatever else, even if it's life threatening, you will receive the information that you need. You are existence itself. Hold on to that. Hold it. Know it. Be one with it. Let it comfort you. Let it soothe you. Let it guide you. Let it lead you. Let it protect you. I am existence itself. There's nothing more vast. Give that dominion over your life, over your existence, rather than your egoic dominion. Okay, let me keep going. Oh, okay. This I'm supposed to say this too. The sensory numbness also limits your ability to fully experience pleasure. And beloveds, this is just not speaking of sexual pleasure. This is speaking of pleasure in any relationship, in any situation. When you are tense, you're not free. Something funny may happen. You're so tense, you'll laugh at it a little bit, but you're not fully able to belly laugh at it because you're too tense. You're not fully able to enjoy the moment because you are too tight. You are too tense. You are too in fear mode. You are too in, I don't know what's happening next. You're too caught up in that. Breathe. Feel your belly extend. I call it the God breath. The first gift life was given, existence, that brought you into existence was that breath. Fill yourself with that breath. Breathe. Feel that anxiety go away. Feel those fears go away. Feel whatever thoughts that is limiting you from experiencing the pleasure of even existing. Learn to be in your power. Learn that whatever vibrations are being sent at you, directed towards you, you are existence. Meet it from that point, head on. Take the time to tune into your gut feelings using slow, deep breathing as an access code. Listen with all your senses to discern what your body is telling you, and use your intellect to interpret whether it is a conditioned reaction or an instinctual response. And I'm going to tell you, a conditioned reaction is you getting tense. An instinctual response is you breathing. Okay. Bring it. Come on, life. Come on, existence. I'm existence too. Come on. Not tensing all up. What is existence getting ready to do to me? Oh my God. Conditioned reaction or instinctual response. That's contrast. Learn to feel the differences in those vibrations within yourself. Learn to control those. And there are so many. I did a video on my own pregnancy as a teen mother and what my daughter went through and how it is natural for her to tense up, to ball up, to have these panic attacks and the anxiety. And she listened to that video and now she's much better because she's gotten another piece to herself. And she's tuned in to I am existence as well. And I've been conditioned before I even knew my name to respond like this. But now I know I can breathe. Even visualize yourself breathing and pushing or blowing whatever that is away using God's breath. And whatever is at you, God's breath, baby, can handle whatever is there. Believe me. Empower yourself. Take the time to tune in to your gut feelings using slow, deep breathing as an access code. Take note that that's an access code. So you are tapping into the code that you need with your breath and your breathing. Without that, you don't have the code. Use the code. With practice, you'll refine your perceptual capabilities so that you can completely trust what you feel. Associations, confidence, secrets, protection, respect, survival, authority, focus, action, unpredictability, ancestors, shape-shifting, solitude, endurance, assertiveness, divinity. And again, beloved, that was the shark. For trust your instincts to discern the truth of the situation. Okay, next we're going to use Life Purpose Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue, and the card that was pulled is Justice. And beloveds, I just had to stare at this card because it is just so beautiful. The colors and just the background and the light that she's carrying and the way that I'll show it to you. Your career brings fairness and protection to others who need your help. Isn't that a beautiful card? And those colors have been coming up a lot lately for me. A lot. And I love them. Okay. Justice. And Justice was on page 53, which is an 8. Justice. Your career brings fairness and protection to others who need your help. This card signifies that your soul's purpose involves protecting others from unfairness. You'd find satisfaction in careers involving meditation, law, political science, city planning, security, and so forth. You may even blend spiritual aspects into your career, such as healing work combined with conflict resolution. For example, you have natural leadership and delegation skills, and others look to you for direction and guidance. Your honor and respect. You honor and respect the responsibility accorded you, and you're highly respected as a result. The angels ask that you continue to trust your heart's guidance as your career evolves and changes. Heaven knows where you're most needed and will help you with divine assignments that can put your skills to the highest and best use. And beloveds, existence serves. Existence exists to serve. Let that be your foundation. I exist to serve. And that is the highest calling that you can have. Because as you're helping yourself, you're helping thousands of others. Because you're uplifting, you're increasing the vibration of existence itself. You're serving existence. You're not being self-serving. You're not being, what's the word I'm looking for? Vain or prideful or puffed up or arrogant or any of that. You are serving the collective which you are a part of. And you love what you do. You love serving. And that is what this card is saying. Beloveds, let's move on, and I'll get the chakra deck now. And this is by Tony Hartman, and it's illustrated by Gretchen Rice Baskin. I hope I said that right. Chakra Wisdom Oracle Guidebook, the complete spiritual toolkit for transforming your life. And the card we got was Impatience. The card that came forward or pushed itself forward was Impatience. Look at that. Look at him on that ladder. Impatience. Okay, let's see what this card says. And it is on 58, which is a 13, which is a 4. Impatience, electric blue moon. And we have a black moon right now. Not a black moon, a full moon. Full black moon. If I don't take care of it, it'll never happen. The legend. Etan grows impatient waiting for dawn, so he buys a used moon. Once it is in the sky, he steps back to see his handiwork. The moon will not stay in place unless he holds the cord. Sky God assures him that dawn will come when he lets go. But Etan is fearful and grips onto the cord until he falls asleep and releases it. When he awakens, dawn has come and the radiant light in the sky is blocked only by his used moon. Inspiration. Now is not the time to make a rushed decision. You have made your needs known. Now leave it alone. You may block something wonderful from coming to you if you are hasty. Personal inquiry. Am I jumping the gun? If I am honest with myself, am I forcing something? Key ideas. Scarcity thinking. Being exhausted by your efforts. Success through patience. Keywords. Unfolding. Revelation. Success. Meditation. Imagine something you strongly desire. The electric blue moon appears and begins to cool the heat of your emotions. Write down any communication you receive in the moonlight. It is a message from the council of the great spirits. Wow, that's a very powerful card. And beloveds, that was some very powerful information. We are often impatient. And once again, if we look at things from the standpoint of existence where time is irrelevant, you begin to take on a little bit more patience with things because you realize existence has this, it's going to work out when it's supposed to. And you just have to be in tune with your instincts and allow and accept. That's the whole chain of those cards. Allow, accept, and don't beat yourself up for being impatient. Just remind yourself, just be patient. And what did that card say? Breathe. See, being impatient will give you anxiety. It'll tense you up so that you can't receive the pleasure of the moment. You can't even see what's coming because you're so tense. You can't even entertain the possibilities of miracles or grace because you're so tight. Let go. You know that saying, let go, let God, go with the flow? These are affirmations. Speak it into being. Manifest it. You are existence. You have that ability. Next, I am going to get into the medicine woman. And the medicine woman had 3 cards to come up. And this is by Carol Bridges. The first card was Vision, and it's number 12. And in the original tarot deck, it's the Hanged Man card. And I just want to show you. And this card comes up a lot in these readings, a lot. And again, it's that reflection. It's that existence and non-existence, which is the illusion and which is real, which is the shadow and which is the ephemeral, which is the matter and which is the substance. And again, this is the contrast. And again, this is knowing yourself. So let's move forward. 12, Vision. Complete number and meaning, 12, complete immersion. Traditional name, the Hangman. Medicine woman energy, the vision quest fulfilled. Affirmation, I surrender to the greater good. The Great Spirit and I are one. The beauty I see, I will bring through me. The card speaks, receiving the vision of that which is to be my purpose and my work on the earth. I am able to surrender to the greater good. I give up my life of thinking that I am a separate ego that must maintain myself at the expense of others. I am within others. Others are within me. I no longer care so much whether I am understood by others, but whether I understand them. My ego needs align with the great plan. My wants are in harmony with the human longing for perfection. Creating my own small spot of paradise on earth adds to the great creation. There is no longer a conflict. I serve myself and others at the same time. My face is without pain, though others would have thought that to sacrifice the ego, consciousness of separateness, would be to suffer. Instead, my aura glows. And that's so funny because last night I posted an old picture and I said, something about golden something on a black moon. So that was that's very whew, okay. There is no strain in this reversal of thinking. I hang from the tree of life, still growing. There is no strain. There is no tenseness. There is no, you know, fear. The horizontal plane of the cross symbolizes my work on the earth. The vertical plane is my alignment with God. I now look at life from a different perspective than ever before. I am able to see things from another's point of view. I am able to look with the eyes of God. My individuality is simply a tool, a point of focus for the universal will of God. Life as I once knew it has turned upside down. The good of the whole is my highest goal. I have looked deep within the waters of consciousness and have been transformed. In the video that I did, um, the one without the cards, the very first download, um, it spoke of me seeing the Ankh and the cross aligning together. And also understanding that, how can I put this? Understanding the horizontal and the vertical within yourself. Understanding, looking at that also as contrast of existence and non-existence. So all of this is in deep agreement and alignment with everything. Let me keep going. Self-questioning. As I look at the day just past, did I consider the good of my whole self in my decisions, the good of my whole environment, the good of the whole group, the good of my whole community, or only the good of one small aspect of myself? And beloved, this is so important. And this is how we are going to have to start reviewing things. Because now that we know that we are existence itself, we have to repattern ourselves. What did I get out of this? No, what did the group get out of this? What did the collective get out of this? What did the animals and the plants and the vibrations and the seen and the unseen get out of it? Exercise. Sit across from a partner, someone you would like to be close to. Relax and look deeply into the other's eyes. While the eyes remain still, neither blinking nor moving from side to side. In a few minutes, close them. Then imagine yourself going inside the other person's body. Become the person. Look out the other person's eyes, seeing yourself. Now think of yourself as that partner you are within right now. How does he or she see you? How does she or he see the world? How does it feel like to be in that body? What does she or he need from you? What are her or his hopes or fears? Now come back into your own body, still with eyes closed. Allow the deeper essence of that person to flow toward you by making a connection of light from your heart, throat, and third eye to a point between the two of you. Just be there, receiving. Open to begin to open to the goodness. Begin to open to the godness. When it feels right, draw all your energies gently back into yourself. Feel your own godness. Follow the flow. This, beloved, is tuning yourself to the collective consciousness and being able to no longer just think of yourself, but to think, will this partnership benefit the whole? Will How does this person see me? How does this person see the world? How does this person see the collective consciousness? This is how we need to begin being aware of ourselves as existence. Meditation. Go to your highest space of meditation. From this peak, look down upon the world. What do you see needing to be done? This is your work. Visualization. See yourself as a channel of heavenly gifts. For a time, you hold the gifts, adding your individual energy to them. Then one by one, you pass them on to others. See the effects of your giving to others. And that is a very powerful visualization. And that is one that I have been consciously, unconsciously, and subconsciously doing. And it is really allowing, like I said, yourself to give from a place where you are abandoning your condition to look for something back, to look for even any kind of validation for what you gave. It is just giving. And letting that be enough. And know that it's not the individual that you're giving to. You're giving to existence. You are existence, expressing existence, expanding existence, expanding the vastness of existence by what you're giving. And there is nothing there's no validation that you need. There's no pat on the back. There's no anything that you need back from that. You find total satisfaction in the fact that you are existence, being existence, doing what existence does. Astrological sign Neptune. Surrender. To become the vision received from the greater being, you must surrender to your greater self. You must take the leap of faith, letting go of the things on which you have formerly depended. This may include an old self-image, self-doubt, or embarrassment at who you really are. You must dive into the unknown. The person who goes into the wilderness on vision quest leaves behind the comforts of her former home. He often refrains from eating or sleeping and sees no other humans or things of humans. He is left to view that which comes from within. This inner space reveals itself in outer reality. The inner being becomes the world. And beloveds, that is the first step in being able to know that you are that breath. And that breath, when it goes out, you are looking out. You're seeing that breath. And what you're seeing is what you thought was you. The outside you. The non-existent. That which can change. But what is looking at that is what is unchangeable. Okay. This inner space reveals itself in outer reality. So the more you get used to looking, observing from that way, the more you're able to now not just look at yourself from in that way. You're able to look at the world in that way, to look at others in that way, as existence as well. You're inclusive now, instead of that's separate, no, it's not. Often at first, a level of fear is manifest. The ego, which I like to call the personality self, lets you know just what would devour it. It is up to you to let it be devoured. It is the process. You will come to realize, You will come to realize that it is you, the greater self, who devours it. The vision, hanged man card, is different from the seed or fool in that the fool steps blindly forward on a hunch or a feeling, often not realizing what he or she is leaving behind. Whereas the hangman, questing for vision, purposely lets go of the known for what he or she sees ahead as her destiny. The fool might ask you every day to step forward, take a risk, plant a seed. The vision card is just to remind you of one turnabout that must occur. Your life, at some point, must be given the ultimate being consciousness bliss that resides beyond the mind and its busyness. That's the pleasure of being, of existing. Not being so tense, not being so caught up in the outside that you forget the when we say bliss, we don't understand so much. A lot of us think it's a sexual or it's a peaceful, but it's so much more than that. It's a totally you're not worried you're not worried about a damn thing, okay? Not a damn thing. And that is bliss. You are light as a feather. Your daily actions may continue, but the quest is no longer for direct results from those actions. You are simply allowing a greater force to work through you, as it surely will when you have surrendered. It is a force that was always within you, but hidden by the personality's goal. The personality remains, but it is now God's work. But it is now doing God's work rather than its own. Vision asks you not to give up you, but to become more than you, the one self that animates all life, existence. Become existence. You can seek vision and prepare for vision, but you cannot force it to come. It is a gift. When you receive it, it will turn your life upside down. Whoop! That ain't no lie right there. As if diving from a cliff for the first time. You cannot know what complete immersion is like until you are fully in the water. Only then can you swim. Only then can you act in accordance with the new element that surrounds you. Surrender is not death, but action within a new environment of higher consciousness. So surrender is ascension. It is not giving up the personality of self to another human's will. This is very important distinction. The meaning of the vision card is an inner experience of God as complete motivation of the self. It is not a surrender to any other human being. The personality will still function quite strongly, able to stand up for itself in the world, perhaps even more than ever before. The vision is the prime mover, an energy source that will prompt all future actions and guide your way for the rest of your life. The vision card will come up again and again, only for you to further fine tune your carrying out the original vision given to you by the Great Spirit. It will not change your basic vision. This card focuses your life within God's perfect plan. Pay attention to what you know you are on earth to do. Exist. Love existing. Get over the non existing. Get over worshiping the non existence. Take that to the next level, which is existing. It's all so in so much harmony, like I said. The next card is the Two of Pipes. And let's see what it says. It's on page 166, which is a 13, which is a 4. Two of Pipes, recognize the call. Prayer. Great Spirit, I see many possibilities. You have given me a world that is full. Let me know what you would wish for me this day. What work my life may accomplish. I am setting aside things of distraction that I might hear your words and receive your vision. Guide me along the way that will accomplish your goals. Lead me into relationship with all who would illumine my way. Lesson, the world is within. As the sacred pipe is lit, your inner vision begins to manifest in the world. The pipe is your spinal energy column where male, which is the stem, and female, the bowl, unite. The smoke, like male female, flow within your body, spirals around, rising to the spirit. The eagle, highest flying bird, ascends to give you an overview of a possible life. Fly with it. Look from above. You are catching a glimpse of creative, sexual, and spiritual possibilities. Right now, you are being given a general view. Focus and concentration. Zeroing in on one aspect will come later. You are being magnetically drawn toward fulfillment. This could be a period of excitement and anticipation, accompanying a feeling of readiness. Whew. Okay. A possible pitfall at this stage is the tendency to trade your creative, sexual, spiritual energy for money, acceptance by another, or to set it aside for a philosophy. In other words, there is a possibility for self-denial. Instead, you must recognize your potential and seek only to find ways to unite it successfully with the powers of others and the world. The more you dwell on your highest vision, the more you will counteract this tendency toward self-denial and draw support toward yourself. And that is, once again, going to that law of attraction. And that is very on point, beloveds. And sometimes we have to, in that breathing and needing to breathe, that's one thing we need to bring into our visionary focus to allow that. The next card is the 9 of Arrows. And let's go forward. And the 9 of Arrows is on page 192, which is a 12, which is a 3. Prayer. I can see through sorrows. I can see through struggles. What I find is mind. The mental concepts, the attitudes, the beliefs I hold, I cherish for what they have allowed me to do. But I also see that they are simply ways of perceiving reality and not reality itself. The only reality is ultimate harmony, and troubles are simply trips the mind is taking. As I stumble on the path, I put myself down and I pick myself up by the way I value each step. I am way above rules, though not above using them. I am deeply respectful of all that is. I laugh at all that isn't. There we go with that existing and non-existence again. So we are to laugh at that non-existent state that wants to assert itself as existence, or wants to represent itself as existence, or wants us to focus so much on it. Laugh at it. You are not existence. You are non-existence. You are limited. You have a beginning and you have an end. You are dormant. You are only a stage, a phase, a cycle, a season. You are not the total package. You are not existence itself. You are non-existence. That means you are contained. I am deeply respectful of all that is. I laugh at all that isn't. Even blind, I can see what that worries are clouds drifting past eternity. Lesson: the world appears to oppress its people. Darkness abounds. Yet, you can penetrate those clouds of worry and fear by aiming into the light. You do not need to see all answers and have all solutions before you act. Just point your heart toward good. Perhaps you have found something you did not expect. You have looked into the darkness and found your own greatest fear. You are being shown what you have placed in the shadows of your consciousness. What you wanted to forget has raised its head, but only to ask you if you have gained enough wisdom and strength to deal with it more fully. It may seem like a nightmare at first. You may not want to look at it, but you must accept your dark side, your hidden desires, and integrate them with your light side in order to experience wholeness. You are never given a challenge that you do not have the skills to meet. It may seem as though you are shooting in the dark, but go ahead. Use the skills you have been working to develop. This is their supreme test. A new surge of power awaits your success. The mask is lifted as you look behind the face of things to see. I'm sorry, there's so much going on being downloaded as I'm reading this. Let me start that over. A new surge of power awaits your success. The mask is lifted as you look beyond the face of things to see that your fear was merely self-doubt rather than an external enemy. Take heart. Lift your bow of confidence and shoot pure thoughts of love, strength, and highest vision. Aim for the good of the whole. And beloveds, do not be impatient. Wait until you can lift your bow of confidence and shoot pure thoughts of love, strength, and highest vision, and aim for the good of the whole. Don't lift that bow and think you finna shoot and you are not where you need to be just yet. Or you're gonna have other consequences. Make sure you are where you need to be. Make sure you are aligned with existence. And if you shoot before you're ready, if you go before you're ready, understand that existence still has you. Okay, things will still work out and you'll learn what you need to learn and everything is still good. That may be just what you needed. And that is that day. The next one is from the 2013 Oracle, Ancient Keys to the 2012 Awakening by David Carson and Nina Sammons. And the card that was pulled is the Moon Goddess, number 8, which represents passages. And that's so deep that it is, like I said, on a moon cycle that I'm doing this. Okay. Moon Goddess, passages. A pearl falls from the clamshell, rolls around inside a black bowl, pours down light from above on the dark figures of women with upstretched arms. Moon Goddess is draped across her throne of time, one leg hooked over the armrest. She playfully strokes her companion, Rabbit, held in the crook of her arm. That is so funny because there is this little thing on Facebook that is just this cat-like creature holding another cat-like creature sitting on the couch stroking the little thing, and that is one of my favorite ones to use. That's so funny. Let me keep going. I'm weird, I know. Okay. She playfully strokes her companion, Rabbit, held in the crook of her arm. Her headdress swirls with the numbers 1 through 28. She holds council with Monkey and a group of astronomer priests and priestesses. Monkey sits before a book with brush and inkwell. He gestures with his long, skinny left arm, ink splashing from the brush as he talks excitedly. Moon Goddess smiles indulgently. Moon Goddess is great rainbow woman and visits us night after night, month after month, year after year until our round on earth is completed. Meanwhile, Moon Goddess is a passionate guide for life's journeys. Moon Goddess weaves our destiny into phases as we mark the passages of our lives. She witnesses the principal events such as conception, birth, maturity, and death. She encircles us day and night. She is our constant companion and exerts irresistible influences over us. She tugs at the blood pumping through our bodies. Here's a larger, a larger picture, just because that card is so tiny. Okay, her shining face in all its aspects intertwines us with her rhythm. Moon Goddess speaks to our blood and we answer. Moon Goddess speaks to the earth's blood and the watery deepness answers. When we meditate on Moon Goddess, we become conscious of the water in our blood, saliva, bile, tears, and sweat, and acknowledge that we are bound to her. She is our mother, and we feel her in every cell of our being. We see that there is no separation. And beloveds, this all, like I said, it goes back to that download. It goes back to a lot of these cards that have been read. All of this is in alignment and in attunement, and I hope you're able to discern the thread, and I hope you're able to be led by where it wants to take you and the messages that it has for you. Because as I'm going through these cards, like I said, I'm receiving so many downloads of just some could call them confirmations, other could call them revelations. It's just all amazing how it's cementing together in such a unique way, because these cards were chosen randomly, and existence chose these cards to help speak about existence over non-existence. So it's very deep. It's very deep, and I hope you're getting it. In the vision card, we have the blood here, and we're speaking of watery deep answers, and it's very, like I said, it's just very deep for me, beloveds. Okay. She is our mother, and we feel her in every cell of our being. We see that there's no separation. There's no separation from existence. If you exist, you're tied to existence. Everything that exists. Even non-existence, which is a dormant state that we all go into for rebirth. Okay. Ancient people paid strict attention to the heavenly vault, the sun, moon, Venus, and the stars in their courses. The beginning of solar ceremonies was plotted by the full moon. The ancients saw that the microcosm has a direct influence on every aspect of life. This understanding has been lost. Again, the microcosm is, look at the microcosm in viewing existence. That is the world within. The world outside is a microcosmic view. The ancients saw that the macrocosm has a direct influence on every aspect of life. This understanding has been lost. The moon unfailingly provides humans with a series of cadences. Her body pulls on our home. And when it says pulls on our home, it means our temple, our body, with such a dynamic force that we become a double planet. Yet we look uncomprehendingly at her in the sky if we look at her at all. When it says we become a double planet, that means we are a planet and the earth is a planet. Women who want to honor the goddess can explore the creation of a moon lodge where they can be present in a sacred space with others once a month. Men may want to address their feelings about the feminine and menstruation as an integral part of reproduction. Menses is wrapped in an uncomfortable silence in our culture. A lack of understanding and rejection of the feminine leads to a harsh dismissal of the emotional and psychological aspects of this cycle. The menses is the root of existence, of the human existence. So understand that you are spirit incarnated into flesh, and that could not have happened without the period, without the menses, without the menstruation, without the blood being shed and being able to be shed, being present. Understand that. A lack of understanding and rejection of the feminine leads to a harsh dismissal of the emotional and psychological aspects of this cycle. Our greatest magicians, the scientists, have gathered very little empirical evidence about the effects of the moon on the physical lives of women and men, and they were extremely interested in putting a man on the moon. In other words, beloveds, we are so busy with trying to get dominion over the moon, and we don't realize that the moon has dominion over us. And we don't know what that dominion is. That's very deep. That came up that way. Why it came up that way, it just did, and pay attention to that. Okay. Moon Goddess offered us a measure upon which we organize to become a human community and culture. Wow. What I'm being showed and told, beloved, is that we really need to pay attention to the moon. And right now there's a lot going on with the moon globally and from different countries and everything. There's space crafts and everything else. And you have to understand that there's a reason for that. Like I said, everything happens at a certain time. And if this is coming up in this reading and it's affecting me all through my body, I'm having to adjust myself. Hold on just a minute. Okay, beloveds. I'm back. Let me get to it. Moon Goddess offers us a measure upon which we organize to become a human community and a culture. Without her, we fall into alienation and chaos. We physically deteriorate and perish. Ancient humankind was thrown into upheaval during lunar eclipses because they feared it signaled a tumultuous cosmic shift. Their observation of cosmic events had shown that interplanetary and stellar behavior profoundly influenced life on Earth. They knew that solar and lunar geomagnetic forces were mutable and ever changing. So existence is ever expanding and flowing the way she wants to. Moon Goddess taught human ceremonial design. Lunar passages are ritual template. She waxes, she wanes, she separates, and is resurrected. Pay attention to those. It's a ritual template. She waxes, she wanes, she disappears, and is resurrected. This is one of her multifaceted gifts to humankind. The flow of the seasons on the wheel of existence. The flow of the seasons on the wheel of existence. And the great panorama of her faces offer us a cosmic pulse. Wrap yourself up in her silvery garment of brightness. That means, beloveds, identify and align and attune yourself with her and her cycles. Understanding what's going on, when she is going through her things. In other words, observe her faces. Know what's going on and understand that whatever is going on with her is going to affect you. Moon Goddess is your reading signals, the need for a ritual calendar in your life. Don't be surprised to find yourself scouring texts from your tradition to create ceremony for yourself and others. Examine the deeper meaning of the holidays you keep. Is it time to reconfigure your calendar? And beloveds, as a collective, I would say yes, it is time to reconfigure our lunar calendar and bring ourselves more into align with it as existence itself. Bring moon cycles into your daily routine. Plant and harvest accordingly. Look beyond the immediate to the power behind the scenes. So that's the unseen, beloved. Look beyond the immediate power to the power behind the scenes. So look at the moon, but understand what the moon is doing, how she is vibrating, what is going on with her. Moon Goddess radiates immediate, sorry. Moon Goddess radiates powerful intuition. She offers you the milk of human evolution and human kindness. Beneficent is her nature. The moon has promised to serve the people until the end of time. I will be a comfort in the night and a beacon to guide you, says Moon Goddess. I will mark your human trail with measure and beauty. She calls to you even in the darkest night. And that was that card. And next we're going to, and last, is the Isis Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. And the card drawn was Divine Sisterhood, community of the spiritual sisters and brothers of the light. And let's see what it has to say. Divine Sisterhood, community of spiritual sisters and brothers of the light. In community that is based in equality, respect, healthy boundaries, and personal freedom, with a mutual desire for spiritual growth and honoring of innate wisdom, great miracles occur. You are part of this community of light. At one time, it existed only in the spiritual worlds, yet now it is being born on the earth. It is part of your destiny to help create and nurture a conscious community that empowers all of its members and is based in truth. Letting the divine feminine nourish you now into new relationships, collaborations, community, and friendships is very wise. There are many souls with whom you have spiritual contracts decided upon before you were born who wish to help you and whom you can help too as you grow together in peace and light and wisdom. Your light has value on its own, of course, but it is also of deep service when it is visible to others, lighting the way. You are guided to allow the beloved Isis to help you now through community. There can be strength in numbers. Community can help you gain the added power of group effort to rise above old patterns and lift each other into the new patterns that are so much more real and beautiful. In unity with the divine, in each other, we grow and we become capable of such wonders. Mother Isis says that there is so much light awakening within our planet and so much spiritual light gifted to earth from celestial beings at this time that it makes sense to build a large enough container to receive it. Groups that are willing to learn to connect at heart level, honoring each other as divine beings, can become capable of calling in and receiving tremendous forces of light in service to humanity and the earth. If you had enough electricity to power a city, you wouldn't try to fit it in one house. Likewise, with all this spiritual electricity becoming available on the earth, groups are needed to help it to circulate and flow. You are wise and grounded enough within yourself not to lose yourself in a group, and instead to help a group become a community of honoring individuals. Your leadership by example is important as groups can sometimes descend to the lowest energetic vibrations if the members fall into their egos rather than staying in their hearts. Yet, if the members can stay in their hearts, the group can lift each other up and rather than pull each other down. The oracle of the divine sisterhood is based on the love between the goddesses of ancient Egypt, Hathor, Isis, Bastet, and Sekhmet, and more. They are often pictured with similar symbols and headdresses, and share some iconography that helps us realize that although they are divine individual beings, they are connected as unique expressions of something greater. If you accept all of this but still cannot find your spiritual home here and have been wondering where your community is, you are not alone. They are looking for you too. Say yes to the opportunities to meet like-minded people and let Isis guide you through circumstances, opportunities, and spontaneous moments as you and your beloved sisters and brothers find each other together for group benefit. This is also guidance that you are moving into empowerment of your own divine feminine and are capable of helping others into theirs. The role of the divine sisterhood is about empowering all, not just one above the other, and growing in wisdom through listening and sharing, through allowing for the uniqueness of all beings and encouraging all to grow from a win-win perspective. If you are in a community but are finding that the group ego is becoming more painful, more powerful than the group, let me start that over. If you are in a community but are finding that the group ego is becoming more powerful than the group soul, and the energy of community is pulling you down rather than lifting you up, then this oracle says to trust in the divine feminine to lead you onwards. Give your best and most truthful expression and effort. But if community is not a vibration that can work for you, then move on. Without judgment or fear, just move on. And trust that with the law of magnetism, you will attract yourself into a community that has the best vibration for you. If you have found that you have guidance to build community yourself and are feeling a little overwhelmed at the thought, stay calm and stay in your heart. Allow yourself to collaborate with others. Work in smaller groups in connections with each others as a way to build community together. It will happen naturally. The divine sisterhood will guide you if you ask for their assistance with unconditional love. Ritual of divine sisterhood. You can do this activity physically in a group setting with others who wish to do this healing practice too, or you can visualize it in your mind with your eyes gently closed while sitting upright with your hands resting on your legs or knees. Doesn't matter in your visualization. You do not recognize the faces or identities of those in the group with you. Just intend to connect with your sacred community in unconditional love. You are in a circle holding hands with other men and women. Say aloud, this circle is based on unconditional love, free from harm and fear. Those who and fear. Those who love us unconditionally are now invited to be here. See, sense, or feel your hand sending love around the circle, pulsing with energy. Feel the love growing and say, may this community lift us into love more freely and wholly than ever before. Through my own free will, so be it. Stay with this flow of energy and feel your heart expanding. When you are ready, gently release the hands and place them in prayer mudra, palms facing together and resting gently at heart level. Close your eyes and bow your head slightly, bringing the hands in prayer position with your forefingers lightly touching your forehead, and say, I honor the sisterhood and brotherhood of light of which I am one. When you are ready, lower your hands and just open your eyes. You may like to finish with the prayer below. This prayer can be said at the end of the ritual above or at any time you have a community issue that needs resolution. Beloved Isis, please help me find my beloved brothers and sisters of unconditional love on the inner planes and in this world of forms. Guide me to healthy community that helps me grow with unconditional love, where I can find my rightful place and be my true inner self. Thank you. May I have the courage, wisdom, and openness of heart to trust your guidance and act on it of my own free will. So be it. And that is it, beloveds. And namaste. And I hope you put everything together. And I know it's a lot of information, but take your time with it. Go slow. Look at it as much as you need to. But let it integrate. And know that even if you're sitting there, I've had some people say, well, I understand some of it, but the rest of it is just over my head, Valerie. And for you guys, you know what I tell you. Subconsciously and unconsciously, you're getting it. And when you need it, you'll use it. Whether you consciously think you're getting it or not, it's a vibration and it's a frequency. It's more than just words. So, namaste. And do everything you can to give existence dominion over yourself. So in other words, surrender to existence and not non-existence. Okay, that's it, beloveds. Thank you, and I love you all.